Today's recipe comes from the Reader's Digest, Great Recipes for Good Health. Copyright 1988, another one of Mom's well-bookmarked cookbooks. And today we're going to be doing a beef stew with basil tomato paste. We're going to be deviating from the recipe in a few ways. This calls for using a Dutch oven. I'm going to be using a crock pot. And also I'm going to be subbing out one of the ingredients for some garden fresh potatoes. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 pound of boneless lean chuck steak cut into 1.5-inch cubes, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 cup of dry red wine, 2 cups of low sodium beef broth, 1 can, 1 pound, low sodium tomatoes pureed with their juice, 1 medium-sized stalk of celery sliced, 4 cloves of garlic minced, 2 3-inch strips of orange peel, 1/2 teaspoon each of fennel seeds, dry basil, and thyme crumpled, 1 bay leaf, 2 medium-sized yellow onions quartered, 4 medium-sized turnips peeled and quartered, which I'm subbing out for potatoes, 4 medium-sized carrots peeled and sliced 1 inch thick, 3 tablespoons of minced fresh basil, or 2 tablespoons of minced parsley plus 1 teaspoon of dried basil crumbled, 2 tablespoons of low sodium tomato paste, 6 ounces of fresh or thawed frozen snow peas. Heat the oil over moderate heat for 1 minute in a heavy 10-inch skillet. Season the steak cubes with pepper. Add to the skillet and brown for 4 to 5 minutes. Transfer the beef to a 4-quart Dutch oven. Add the wine to the skillet and boil uncovered for 2 minutes, scraping up any brown bits. Add the beef broth, tomatoes, celery, half of the minced garlic, the orange peel, the fennel seeds, the basil, the thyme, and the bay leaf, and bring to a simmer, stirring. Pour all into the Dutch oven and cover and simmer for 1 1/4 hours. Now this is where we're going to deviate from the recipe. We're going to add everything. In the original recipe, it calls for discarding the bay leaf, then adding the onions, the turnips, and the carrots, and covering and simmering for an additional 45 minutes. And using a fork, mash the remaining garlic with the fresh basil, blend in the tomato paste, set aside. Cook the snow peas for 1 minute in boiling water, drain and set aside. Then just before serving, stir the basil, the tomato paste mixture into the stew, along with the snow peas, and heat for 1 minute. Serves 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mix everything together and cook for about 4 hours on low heat in the crock pot. I cooked it for about 8 hours and I took it off the burner at about 1 a.m. Too late to really have a proper dinner, so I just let it cool down for about an hour and then stuck it in the fridge. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, see that? Looks good. All right, looks like the potatoes are just the right consistency. Oh yeah. I could have cooked it. Well, I could have given it maybe 10 hours, but they're not crunchy. They're soft, but they're not mushy. Spicy. Oh, you taste the orange too. I did add a little bit of honey to this. Just a tiny bit. I had just a tiny bit left over. But I could have put more in there, sweetened it up a bit. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So this recipe was beef stew with basil tomato paste. It's from the Reader's Digest, Great Recipes for Good Health. Copyright 1988. Another one of Mom's well bookmarked